a strike. That ball's well hit to right. Did he get all of this one? Yes, he did. They have been waiting to erupt here at Citi Field, and Daniel Murphy just gave them reason to.
Hello, I'm your host, Lamar L.A. Smith, and welcome to another edition of Inside 380. Now, on Inside 380, we'll be covering the following topics. The MLB Playoffs, which is currently in the LCS right now. Then we will be talking about the NBA as we approach the regular season, October 27th, later on this month. And then we will finish off Inside 380 talking about none other than the NFL, which will shortly be approaching the mid-season point. Then we will introduce to you the 380 Play of the Week, as usual.
To Kendrys Morales, a two-run lead for Kansas City. Morales sends a ball well hit into left center field, and that one is gone!
Now, you have the Royals versus the Blue Jays and the Mets versus the Cubs. Now, how did we get here? First, the Cubs played home run derby the last two games versus the Cardinals, hitting a total of 10 home runs and a postseason record 6 home runs in Game 3, which led them to the LCS. Then we have the Mets. The Mets, Game 5, tied 2-2. Who was their savior? None other than Daniel Murphy, who hit a home run in the 8th off of Zach Greinke and did what happens every year to the Dodgers apparently this time around. Put them out the playoffs. Blue Jays won 3 straight games, including the Rogers Center most memorable home run in MLB history. That's my opinion, obviously, but apparently not too many people will argue. Jose Bautista, in almost an hour-long 7th inning, hit a home run that hit 400 feet plus, and then not only did it give the Jays a 6-3 lead that they will eventually keep and win Game 5 and go to their first ALCS since 1993. Same year they won their last World Series. Same year, which was the last time they made the playoffs, actually. So, he did the backflip. The backflip heard around the world. He hit that thing like it was nothing, and then flipped his back and then strutted across the bases. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. And you have the Royals and the Blue Jays. The Royals are up in the series 2-0 thanks to Edinson Volquez, who pitched 6 scoreless innings, 4 walks, 2 hits, 5 Ks. Now, he had 111 pitches due to some control issues, hence the 4 walks. But he did his thing. And then Game 2, 6-3. They were down 3-1, bottom of the 7th. And what did they do? They got to David Price. He had 7 straight losses, including his most recent loss yesterday. And now he's winless in the playoffs, as usual. The Royals up 2-0. They got 5 runs off of Price, led them to the W. Wade Davis got the save with the tying run on plate. And the Royals kept doing what they do, and that's win baseball games in October. Then you had the Mets. The Mets had Matt Harvey. Now, ironically, Matt Harvey did what I wish the Nationals did in 2012, and that's forget the innings limit and just let Strasburg pitch in October. See, apparently Terry Collins looked at that, knew what he was doing, was said, we're going to let him do his thing, and it all worked out. 7 2/3 innings, a very efficient pitch count, 9 Ks, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer that he gave up. And Harvey just did what he did. And not only did he do what he normally does, but he's an ace. And he showed why he's the ace of spades and a jack of all trades, and has the team in Queens looking at possibly going to the World Series. And apparently, we have a lot of baseball left to play. Anything can happen. But that's the MLB Playoffs with your boy, Lamar L.A. Smith. Let's gradually get over into the NBA preview. Inside 380. I'm out.
To the tight end, but Florida in great position to make the play.
Once they took Leonard Fournette out, the offense stalled, and now they got to settle for three. This guy hasn't missed yet. This will be a 33-yard attempt for Domingue, and it's a fake. The throw to Domingue, he bobbles it, and now he heads to the end zone. Touchdown!
Hello, I'm your host, Lamar L.A. Smith, and we're back. And this time, we're talking about the NBA. Now, the NBA season is long, spans from October to June, and it's always intriguing. Last year, you saw the Warriors hoist up the trophy and do what no one thought they would do, and go from a middle-of-the-pack team to a team that achieved their destiny. Now, my playoff teams I had projected for this year are as follows. In the East, 1 through 8, Cavs, Bulls, Heat, Wizards, Hawks, Raptors, Bucks, and Celtics. In the West, 1 through 8, Warriors, Clippers, Spurs, OKC, Rockets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, and the Suns. Now, in the East, 4 through 7 can fluctuate depending on the chemistry of the teams and health, especially considering that all those teams to me are so close to each other, it's really hard to rank them. Then in the West, you have 1 through 5 as really close between the Warriors, Clips, Spurs, OKC, Rockets. And all those teams in the West in general probably were going to win 50 or push 50 games this season. So this season will be very interesting. You have the Warriors, the defending champs. They go from the Hunters to the Hunted. I don't think they're going to win 66 games this year, but you never know. Now, you also have, with the Warriors, you have a bunch of young players who haven't even reached their full potential yet. Stephen Curry's 26. You got Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Festus Ezeli. Like, it's going to look real scary for the next 4 or 5 years if they reach the potential that all of us are speculating. The Spurs have the new version of the Twin Towers with LaMarcus Aldridge there. And now LaMarcus Aldridge left Portland. They snagged him. He was a Texas Longhorn. Now he's a San Antonio Spur. You also have DeAndre Jordan frolic back to LA after committing to the Mavericks. Now the Mavericks are no more. It's obvious. Then you also have the Heat. They have Goran Dragic, D. Wade, Hassan Whiteside, Luol Deng, Justice Winslow, Amari Stoudemire. So much depth. Pat Riley, the Mad Genius, the Miami Mafia is back. Should they stay healthy, they are a true contender in the East and probably the biggest threat as far as matchups to the Cavs. Though the Cavs and the Warriors are ahead of their class in both conferences, this NBA season should be intriguing. That's me, LA. Now we're going to go to the NFL. Inside 380. We'll be back.
Roussel making his way slowly to the bench. McDavid trying to get around Oduya. Sekera keeps it in, lets the shot go, scores! Cutting through the middle was Connor McDavid. As that shot came from the point, and Connor McDavid is all all smiles.
Once again, good work down low. Turnover this time, but it's a shot towards the net. Connor McDavid works off the boards, gets his stick out, bang, tips it, past.
Hello, I'm back. Now, we're going to talk about the NFL. You have 5 undefeated teams currently. You have the Bengals 6-0, Broncos 6-0. Both the Packers and the Panthers are 5-0. And the Pats are currently 4-0, but they're playing Indy right now, and they're up 10-7. Now, we have a couple storylines. First, Denver's defense has been saving the day. Yes, they've been getting big stops and been the reason why the Broncos are the best team in AFC right now. And not because Peyton Manning been slinging it like a wild banshee, getting it to his 2 elite receivers in Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas. Now, with that being said, they won in OT versus the Browns, and it was 26-23. Despite 3 picks, Peyton Manning gave up the lead. 14 seconds later, threw a strike to Emmanuel Sanders, 75 yards, ran for a TD, and they were back in the lead and wound up winning the game. Then the Seahawks. It looks like it's a chink in their armor. The Legion of Boom seems a little bit doomed right now. And it's puzzling because for the first time and probably ever, they gave up 2 back-to-back fourth-quarter leads against 2 quarterbacks that a lot of people around the league would say are mediocre or are straddling the fence between elite and not so much. Versus Andy Dalton, 17 points. In OT, they wound up losing 27-24. But Andy Dalton carved them up, 17 straight points. And then Cam Newton. Then you had Cam Newton. He drilled them for 13 more points. He threw a TD to Greg Olsen in the final seconds to win the game. And Superman came to the rescue. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm starting the Cam Newton for MVP rally because he doesn't have Kelvin Benjamin. Steve Smith is long gone. He's basically throwing the guys you ain't never heard of in your life. And Greg Olsen is the only guy he can rely on. And he has a defense led by Luke Kulicki. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. So, what more can you say? The Panthers just keep getting W's. They're 5-0. Most likely they'll win the playoffs. Have a great chance of winning the NFC South for the 3rd straight year and go back to the playoffs and show everyone why Cam Newton was number 1. Now, the rest of the season will be interesting. I really don't know what to tell you. It's still pretty early when you think about it, considering that a lot of times teams could get really hot. Teams could crash and burn. The Bengals could end up 10-6. The Seahawks could very well end up 11-5 or 12-4 and just dominate like they did last year once they got on a snag. So, you never know. Now, the Inside380 play of the week, of the 385, has come down to 2 plays. You got the Michigan State fumble or Joey Bats. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who knows which play it may be? You may find out. But in spirit of the number 1 play of the week, Inside380 is out. MLB Playoffs style.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
There's the drive by Bautista.
Three-run shot. Second home run in the last 2 innings by the Blue Jays.